Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're counting down the top 4 rare United States Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coins, featuring different years, mint marks, and conditions that could be worth far more than their 1-cent face value. From older Bronze-era Lincoln Memorial cents to later copper-plated zinc examples, these coins can become highly desirable when they contain rare mint errors, double dies, unusual varieties, or exceptional certified grades. The Lincoln Memorial design was used from 1959 through 2008, making it one of the longest-running U.S. cent designs. So before you spend an old Lincoln Memorial penny, check the date, mint mark, condition, and reverse design carefully. You might be holding a hidden treasure. Now, let's begin with coin number 1, the 1975 D Lincoln Memorial penny, struck at the Denver Mint and identified by the D mint mark, found in circulated condition. At first glance, this penny may look like an ordinary 1-cent coin that has spent decades moving through everyday transactions. Brown toning, scratches, worn details, rim marks, and contact damage may make it seem almost worthless. But before you spend one, remember that collectors carefully search old coin jars, family collections, bank rolls, pocket change, estate collections, and inherited coin boxes looking for unusual Lincoln cents. The 1975 D Lincoln Memorial penny was struck at the Denver Mint during the Lincoln Memorial cent era. The obverse features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial. The D mint mark beneath the date identifies the Denver issue. Like other Lincoln Memorial cents of this period, the coin was made primarily from a bronze composition and has the familiar 1-cent size and weight. A 1975 D penny in circulated condition normally shows noticeable wear. Lincoln's hair, cheek, beard, and coat may have softened from years of handling, while the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse can show reduced architectural detail. Brown, reddish-brown, or darker toning is common, along with scratches, rim marks, contact marks, and environmental discoloration. These characteristics usually indicate normal circulation rather than rarity. The reason collectors still examine the 1975 D Lincoln Memorial penny is the possibility of discovering a genuine mint error or valuable die variety. Collectors may look for double dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, struck through errors, and other unusual characteristics that were created during the minting process. The important thing to remember is that a normal circulated 1975 D penny is not automatically worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Most ordinary examples remain close to face value. The large auction prices belong to exceptional certified coins or genuine rare errors. For example, PCGS records a $4,113 auction result for an exceptional 1975 D graded MS67+. That is dramatically different from a normal circulated penny. This is why condition matters enormously. A heavily circulated coin may be worth only a few cents, while an extremely well-preserved, professionally certified example can attract much stronger collector interest. A rare mint error can also completely change the value of an otherwise common date. If you find a 1975 D in an old coin jar, don't immediately throw it back. If you find one in a family collection, compare it carefully with other examples. And if you are searching through bank rolls, pay special attention to coins that appear unusually sharp, well struck, or different from the normal examples around them. Use bright lighting and a magnifying glass to inspect the date, D mint mark, Lincoln's portrait, lettering, and Lincoln Memorial. Look for unusual doubling, cracks, missing design elements, or an unusual shape that appears to have happened during the minting process. At the same time, remember that scratches, dents, corrosion, stains, polishing, and environmental damage are usually post-mint damage and normally reduce the value rather than increase it. Never clean or polish a potentially valuable Lincoln cent, because doing so can permanently damage its original surfaces. For an ordinary 1975 D Lincoln Memorial penny in circulated condition, the realistic value is generally around 1 cent to a small premium, depending on condition and collector demand. But an authenticated mint error or exceptional certified specimen can be worth dramatically more. The 1975 D Lincoln Memorial penny is a perfect example of why coin collecting is so exciting. A coin that looks completely ordinary today could still deserve a closer examination. Whether you're searching pocket change, old coin jars, family collections, bank rolls, or inherited collections, always check before you spend. So, before you let that old 1975 Lincoln Memorial penny disappear back into circulation, turn it over, examine it carefully, and ask yourself one question. Could this little 1-cent coin be hiding something that collectors have been searching for? Now let's move on to coin number 2 in today's countdown. The 1995 Lincoln Memorial penny, struck at the Denver Mint and identified by the D Mint mark, found in dirty black condition. At first glance, this penny may look old, dark, heavily stained, and almost worthless after years of circulation. Thick black toning, dirt, scratches, rim wear, and environmental discoloration can make people overlook it. But experienced collectors know that appearance alone does not determine value. The real question is whether the coin contains a genuine mint error, important die variety, or exceptional grade. The 1995 Lincoln Memorial penny was produced at the Denver Mint during the later years of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series. The obverse features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse displays the historic Lincoln Memorial. The coin is made of copper-plated zinc, weighs approximately 2.5 grams, measures about 19 millimeters, and carries the D Mint mark beneath the date. More than 7.1 billion 1995 cents were struck, making ordinary examples extremely common. A 1995 Lincoln Memorial penny in dirty black circulated condition normally shows noticeable wear. Lincoln's hair, cheek, beard, and coat may have softened through years of handling, while the Lincoln Memorial can lose some of its finer architectural detail. Dark brown or black discoloration, dirt, scratches, contact marks, rim wear, and environmental staining are common. This dark appearance does not automatically make the coin rare or valuable. The real excitement begins when collectors discover a recognized variety or genuine mint error. The 1995 is particularly interesting because it has a documented double die obverse, designated FS103. PCGS notes that the doubling is especially noticeable around "In God We Trust," with additional doubling on Liberty and the date. PCGS also describes this 1995 double die as much scarcer than the famous 1995 P double die. The auction market shows how dramatically a genuine variety can change the value of this otherwise common penny. PCGS records a $4,200 auction record for a 1995 double die obverse, graded MS67 plus red, while Great Collections has recorded sales of certified FS103 examples in the $1,136 to $1,856 range for MS66 red coins. However, an ordinary dirty circulated 1995 should not automatically be valued at thousands of dollars. Most normal circulated examples remain close to their 1-cent face value. Current reference data shows the regular 1995 is common, while the substantial premiums are concentrated in recognized varieties and exceptional mint state examples. This is why you should carefully search through old coin jars, family collections, bank rolls, inherited collections, estate coins, and pocket change. If you discover a 1995 that looks unusually sharp or displays apparent doubling, compare it carefully with trusted references. Machine doubling, scratches, wear, and damage can sometimes resemble genuine double die characteristics. Use bright lighting and a magnifying glass to inspect the date, D Mint mark, Lincoln's portrait, lettering, Lincoln Memorial, and rim. Pay particular attention to "In God We Trust," Liberty, and the date, because these are important areas when checking for the recognized 1995 double die variety. It is also important to distinguish genuine mint errors from damage that occurred after the coin left the mint. Scratches, dents, corrosion, stains, polishing, and environmental damage normally reduce the value of an ordinary penny. A black or dirty appearance by itself is not evidence of a valuable error. Never clean or polish your 1995 Lincoln Memorial penny. Even if the coin looks extremely dirty, cleaning can permanently alter the original surface and reduce collector appeal. If you believe you have discovered a genuine double die or another major mint error, preserve the coin exactly as you found it and consider professional authentication. For a normal dirty black 1995 Lincoln Memorial penny, The realistic value is generally around 1 cent to a small premium. But a genuine 1995 D double die obverse FS 103 can be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on grade and color designation. PCGS currently records the exceptional $4,200 auction result for an MS67 Plus red example. The 1995 D Lincoln Memorial penny proves that even a dark, dirty-looking penny deserves a second look. Whether you find it in a coin jar, family collection, bankroll, inherited collection, or pocket change, don't judge it by appearance alone. Check the date, confirm the D mint mark, examine I in God we trust, liberty, and the date carefully, and look for genuine mint made doubling. You might be holding an ordinary 1-cent coin, or you might have discovered one of the rare Lincoln Memorial varieties that collectors have been searching for. Now let's move on to coin number 3 in today's countdown. The 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint and found in circulated condition. At first glance, this penny may look like an ordinary 1-cent coin with brown toning, scratches, worn details, and years of circulation. But experienced collectors know that the 1974 issue has an especially interesting history, including different date varieties, experimental aluminum cents, and rare mint errors that can dramatically change a coin's value. The 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny was produced primarily at Philadelphia and carries no mint mark. The reported Philadelphia mintage is approximately 4.232 billion coins, and the regular cent is composed of approximately 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo. A 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny in circulated condition normally shows moderate wear. Lincoln's hair, cheek, beard, and coat may appear softened, while the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse can lose some of its finer architectural detail. Brown or reddish-brown toning, scratches, contact marks, rim wear, and environmental discoloration are common. For an ordinary circulated example, these characteristics generally indicate normal use rather than rarity. The exciting part about the 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny is that collectors have several things to investigate. The year included large date and small date varieties, and the reverse design also underwent a change around this period. Collectors can therefore compare the date, lettering, designer initials, and overall design details carefully. Another fascinating part of 1974 is the famous aluminum cent experiment. Because copper prices were rising, the U.S. Mint produced more than 1 million experimental aluminum cents dated 1974. The proposal was ultimately abandoned, and these pieces were never officially released for circulation. Only a tiny number are known today, making authentic examples an entirely different category from a normal 1974 Philadelphia penny. The regular circulated 1974 penny, however, is not automatically worth thousands of dollars. Current market references show that ordinary circulated examples are generally inexpensive, while significant premiums are concentrated in high-grade certified coins and recognized varieties. APMEX, for example, lists higher-grade 1974 Philadelphia cents at increasing values, with MS67 examples around the $99 level in its reference guide. The auction market shows just how much condition can matter. PCGS records a $90 sale for a 1974 Lincoln cent, graded MS67 red, in a 2020 David Lawrence Rare Coins auction. PCGS also records much higher auction results for exceptional varieties and top condition 1974 cents. So if you find a 1974 no mint mark penny in circulated condition inside an old coin jar, family collection, bankroll, inherited collection, or pocket change, don't assume it is automatically valuable, but don't ignore it either. Examine it carefully for the date variety, unusual doubling, die cracks, off-center striking, clipped planchet, struck through characteristics, or other genuine mint-made abnormalities. Use bright lighting and a magnifying glass to inspect Lincoln's portrait, the date, Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, the Lincoln Memorial, the lettering, and the designer initials. If the coin appears unusually light, do not assume it is an aluminum cent. An authentic 1974 aluminum cent requires professional authentication because many ordinary cents can be damaged, altered, or misidentified. Most importantly, never clean or polish your 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny. Natural toning and original surfaces are important to collectors, while cleaning can permanently damage the coin and reduce its desirability. For a normal circulated 1974 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny, the realistic value is generally around face value to a small premium, depending on condition and collector demand. Exceptional certified examples and recognized varieties can bring much more, while the famous experimental aluminum cents are an entirely separate rarity category. The 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark is a perfect example of why collectors should never judge a coin only by its appearance. A worn penny may be ordinary, but the same date can become fascinating when you discover a rare variety, unusual composition, or genuine mint error. So before you spend that old 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny, check the date, study the design, examine the surfaces, and compare it carefully with trusted references. You might have an ordinary 1-cent coin, or you might have discovered something worth a much closer look. And now we arrive at the last and final coin in today's countdown, the 1972 D Lincoln Memorial penny, struck at the Denver Mint and identified by the D Mint mark, found in old circulated condition. At first glance, this 1-cent coin may appear to be an ordinary old penny with years of circulation. Brown toning, scratches, worn details, rim marks, and contact marks often cause people to overlook it or spend it without a second thought. However, experienced collectors know that certain 1972 D Lincoln Memorial pennies can become highly collectible when they contain genuine mint errors, important die varieties, or exceptional certified preservation. The 1972 D Lincoln Memorial penny was produced at the Denver Mint during the Lincoln Memorial cent era. The obverse features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse displays the historic Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. The coin is composed primarily of 95% copper with small amounts of zinc and tin, weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures about 19 millimeters in diameter, and carries the small D mint mark beneath the date. A 1972 D Lincoln Memorial penny in old circulated condition usually shows moderate to heavy wear across both sides. Lincoln's hair, cheek, beard, and coat may appear smooth from years of circulation, while the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse can lose some of its finer architectural details. Brown or reddish-brown toning, scratches, contact marks, rim wear, and environmental discoloration are common. An ordinary circulated example is generally not rare simply because it is an older penny. The real collector interest begins when a 1972 D Lincoln Memorial penny contains a genuine mint-made variety or error. Collectors may search for doubled dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, struck through errors, repunched mint marks, and other unusual characteristics created during the minting process. Genuine examples can be dramatically scarcer than normal circulation coins and may command significant premiums when professionally authenticated. The 1972 Lincoln Memorial cent is also remembered for important double die varieties, making 1972 an interesting year for Lincoln cent collectors. However, collectors should carefully distinguish genuine double dies from ordinary machine doubling, scratches, wear, or post-mint damage. Not every unusual-looking 1972 D penny is valuable. For a normal old circulated 1972 D Lincoln Memorial penny, the realistic value is generally around 1 cent to a small premium, depending on condition and collector demand. The much larger auction prices belong to authenticated rare varieties, major mint errors, and exceptional certified mint state examples. A spectacular auction result should never be treated as the guaranteed value of an ordinary circulated penny. This is why you should search carefully through old coin jars, family collections, bankrolls, inherited collections, estate coins, and pocket change. If you find a 1972 D that looks unusually sharp or displays apparent doubling, compare it with trusted numismatic references and, when necessary, seek professional authentication. Use bright lighting and a magnifying glass to inspect the D mint mark, date, Lincoln's portrait, lettering, Lincoln Memorial, and rim. Look for characteristics that appear to have been created during the minting process. Scratches, dents, stains, corrosion, polishing, and environmental damage that happened after circulation normally reduce the value of an ordinary coin. Most importantly, never clean or polish your 1972D Lincoln Memorial penny. Even if it is dark, dirty, or heavily toned, original surfaces are important to collectors. Cleaning can permanently damage the coin and reduce its collector appeal. The 1972D Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin is the perfect way to conclude today's countdown. Although it may appear to be an ordinary old circulated penny, a genuine mint error or valuable die variety could transform this simple 1-cent coin into a highly desirable collectible worth far more than its face value. So, before you spend that old 1972D Lincoln Memorial penny, check the date, confirm the D mint mark, examine both sides carefully, and look closely for genuine mint-made characteristics. You may be holding an ordinary 1-cent coin, or a fascinating Lincoln Memorial discovery hiding in plain sight. And that brings us to the end of today's countdown of the top 4 rare United States Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coins. We explored the 1975D, 1995D, 1974 no mint mark, and 1972D Lincoln Memorial pennies, and discovered that even old, worn, dirty, and circulated pennies can sometimes become extraordinary collector's treasures. The biggest lesson from today's video is simple. Never judge a Lincoln Memorial penny only by its appearance. A coin that looks scratched, dark, rusty, or heavily circulated may still contain a genuine mint error or an important die variety. The 1972 Lincoln cent is a great example of how a recognized double die variety can bring dramatically higher prices. PCGS Records auction results reaching into the thousands for exceptional examples. Before spending an old Lincoln Memorial penny, take a few moments to check the date, mint mark, Lincoln's portrait, lettering, and Lincoln Memorial. Search through old coin jars, family collections, bank rolls, inherited collections, and pocket change, because valuable discoveries can sometimes be hiding in places people overlook. Remember that scratches, dents, stains, corrosion, and cleaning are usually damage rather than valuable mint errors. Never clean or polish a potentially valuable coin. If you believe you have found a genuine double die, off-center strike, clip planchet, or another major mint error, consider professional authentication and grading. If you enjoyed today's video, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our future videos about rare pennies, valuable pocket change, mint errors, and amazing auction discoveries. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. Until next time, happy coin hunting, and may your next Lincoln Memorial penny be worth far more than just 1 cent. Money back.